Channel. Welcome back to the Press Box. This week we had to throw a podcast together in a matter of seconds, really. We had a guest pull out last minute, but I think we've done okay. So we're going to talk about Inverness Caledonian Thistle. Third segment, we're going to talk about on the back of Trent Alexander-Arnold's move to Real Madrid. We're going to look at the best free transfers in Europe. We're going to have a Scottish football quiz in segment 2. But firstly, we're going to talk about Inverness Caledonian Thistle. Cam is joining us today. He's an Inverness fan, has been for all of his life, I think. We've got Axel and Connor here as well. So, let's do an introduction of Inverness, because I think Axel didn't know Inverness and Connor doesn't know that much about Inverness.
To be honest with you.
But yeah, so they were formed in 30 years ago?
1994, yep.
And do you want to tell us about the story about two different clubs?
So it was two Highland League clubs. There was Inverness Thistle and Caledonian, both pretty successful Highland League teams, basically. And before, it was a closed-off pyramid, so you'd have to get elected to get into the leagues. And they basically thought the only chance a Highland League club would get in is if they combine the two to make one stronger one. And then that's what happened. Us and Ross County, the other Highland club, got elected. And since then, we've both been in leagues.
So probably the most famous thing, maybe, it was about 25 years ago, was the two Scottish Cup wins that you had in, 2000?
25 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, against Celtic.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the two, wasn't there?
Yes.
And now for a club to do it that quickly,
yeah,
very impressive.
Less than 10-year-old at that point.
Yeah. Tell us the famous headline.
Super Cali Go Ballistic Celtic are atrocious.
Yeah. So that's.
Say that again. What's it? What?
Super Cali Go Ballistic Celtic are atrocious.
Okay.
Quite
Nice.
good. Quite good play on words. Yeah. The Sun don't do very good. I think it was
No,
the Sun.
yeah,
A lot
pretty
of
sure it
things.
was, but I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Now talk to us about your early experiences then as a Cali fan before we get onto the disarray that is currently happening.
Right, so I started going to games in 2013, sort of, with my granny. And then there was one game in particular against Ross County. I think it was the first Highland League derby in the top flight. We won, and then that's just when I caught the bug, I suppose. Started going to more games. Went to the League Cup final in 2014, which we did lose. And then 14-15 was my first season ticket. And ever since then, just been going every game.
What's been your best Cali moment?
I'll probably win the Scottish Cup in 2015.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Do you see that coming or not?
No. I mean, it's the first season ticket, finished third, win the Scottish Cup, and since then it's been downhill. Yeah.
And I assume you qualified for Europe then. Was it the qualifying rounds? But you didn't make it
so
to
we
Europe?
drew against Astra Gugu. Or
Who?
No, Astra.
Oh, yeah.
The team that played West Ham.
Yes.
Yeah, where that
Right,
clip came from.
Okay.
Yeah, so we played them, got beat 1-0, and then they played West Ham and knocked them out.
Right.
So we were one game away from the bowling ground at the time.
So how much do you remember? So 2017 wasn't it? You got relegated.
Got relegated in
to the Premiership.
2017,
How
yeah.
much of that season do you remember?
Not much. I remember we didn't win from, I think it was like October to February, where we bet Rangers last minute. And then, because we had Richie Fodden as our manager, we gave him a 5-year contract, and I don't know why we did it, but we did. And then last game of the season, we won 3-2. My brother was a mascot, but then Hamilton actually decided to win a game of football and put us down.
Okay.
What do you think? Because I don't know if you guys know, but in Scotland, in the Premiership, after what is it, 3/4 of the season?
After 33 games, it splits.
Yeah. So you only so you play every team 3 times,
Yeah.
and then for the last round of fixtures, it splits, and you only play like the bottom half teams.
Oh.
So the top 6 play each other. The bottom 6 play.
So you play 38 games in a
So I
season.
suppose it gives you a chance if you're down low to actually maybe stay up. But what do you think of that as a concept?
It's like the Swiss do the same, but I've always said it should be a bigger Premiership, whether that be 14, 16 or 18 teams, just to give more teams a chance. Like, make it a 3-tier system instead of 4.
Yeah.
Because we don't have the money, don't have the people either, to be fair compared to here. But yeah, it's an interesting one, because obviously they do it to get the most Old Firms, which is the money maker. But I don't know how they would change it, and they're not very good at change, shall we say.
You get a lot of like lower league clubs, like Championship clubs, have decent cup runs in Scotland.
Yeah,
well,
that's
so
like the only way.
Like it shows there's a way you can compete as well. It's not like the top Championship clubs would just all get relegated if you expanded the Premiership. You actually have a chance of
I feel like the
surviving
top
and winning
Championship
some
clubs
games.
could definitely compete with the Premiership,
Yeah.
at least the bottom Premiership clubs. Because only like most seasons 2 up, 2 down. That's not even guaranteed. It's only 1 up, 1 down that's guaranteed.
Yeah.
So it's definitely, they can compete, but it's
Yeah.
just because there's no finances whatsoever. If they don't make it, then you're screwed.
And I was going to say, because the National League's a topic at the minute, isn't it? That it seems like a closed market, and the 92 are secure, and only 2 can go down, 2 come up, and there's like 8 teams make the playoffs in the National League.
Yeah.
So do you think that if there was maybe 3 leagues of how much would that be in total? I don't know.
3 leagues of 16 or something.
Yeah.
Like that.
Do you think that would improve Scottish football as a concept for maybe Scotland fans and the wider public, or not?
Yeah, probably. But then I think the wider public only care about one game,
Yeah.
and it is the Old Firm. And I don't know how you would get money eyes off of that, into other places, because our TV deals aren't great.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how many games you watch of the Premiership. Probably none, to be fair.
Yeah, it's not high.
Celtic
It
Rangers.
won't lie.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, there you go. So it's like we can't compete.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know how we change it.
So if we look at when Cali got relegated, then it was 2017. Was there an expectation? Can you remember of coming straight back up?
I don't know if there's an expectation. I think there was obviously hope as well.
Yeah.
But every season we were in the Championship, there's always another team that were gonna win the league. There's been Dundee United twice, Ross County, St Mirren.
Rangers came up, didn't they?
Yeah, but that was just before us.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we've had Hearts down there. Come on, we were never meant to win the league.
Right.
So that was
Did
always
you get playoffs a few times?
Yeah, there was one season where we were very close to going up, but we were never expectation to win the league. It was always playoffs.
But were you always in and around there? There was no sort of relegation threat?
Not up until last season, no.
Okay. So do you want to talk about the financial situation then? Because I think it was announced a few months ago that you went into administration, the first Scottish side since, I think it was 2013.
Yeah, Hearts.
So that shows, I know we said financial in Scotland isn't great, but for that to be the first since 2013, it's not a bad record.
It's not great either, though.
Yeah.
But
But England have had more in that,
Well,
as a small
way
clubs
more
in
in
England.
English,
But
yeah. And obviously it was at Bury and not at Bury, or how you pronounce it,
yeah.
Derby. But so basically last season we got off to a really bad start, sacked our manager, despite he got us a cup final, 18 months before, I can't remember. Got Duncan Ferguson in charge on a huge contract, because our board aren't very smart.
So what did you make of that then as an appointment? Because it's
I
a
feel
big
at
name,
the time it was like kind of hope and optimism. Yeah, he failed at follow the screen, but it's like you think he's a big name, he'll bring in bigger players, and just at the time it was, and then he won his first game in charge, which obviously helps a lot.
Didn't he have his son there?
Not at the time he didn't.
They brought him there.
He did eventually, yes, but
Do you think it was the right managerial appointment, or do you think the decision to get PR on Cali was the right decision, if you know what I mean?
no, I don't think it was right at all.
No.
Looking back on it now,
Yeah.
I think
at the time?
At the time, I didn't know who else could be in charge, but don't get me wrong. At the time, it was a big name. It was like there's a bit of excitement, but didn't know what to expect at all.
Yeah.
But that, and then the season continued, got relegated through the playoffs, which was quite poor, and then the summer happened, which was a summer of ups and downs, shall we say?
So let's talk about last season then.
Yeah.
Did you think relegation was set in for a while, or when did the reality hit? Because, like you mentioned, you'd not really had that as a Cali fan really in your life.
I feel like the whole season we were obviously down there, and then we bounced, and then April or something like that, it was in our own hands, and now obviously being Cali, you're pessimistic by nature, but then we were like 3-4 games, and I think relegation really set in after the first playoff defeat against Hamilton. That's when it's like, it's over.
Yeah.
We're not staying up. And
So in the playoffs in the Championship at the time, so you finished second bottom.
We finished second bottom. Our both got relegated automatically.
So talk to us about how that happened, because you played.
We played Montrose first.
Who were in the league
in
below.
League One, yeah. They finished fourth. We drew 0-0 there, and then we won 1-0 at our place, and then we travelled to Hamilton, got beat 2-1 at theirs, and then beat 3-1.
Yes, it was 5-3 in total, wasn't it?
3-2 then at ours, and then that was us down.
Okay. So you said the summer of up and downs then.
Yeah.
Let's hear about that.
So first off, like there was always a joke that we have no money, and obviously that getting relegated hits. It's like it actually happened. So then they announced a statement being like, we're staying full time. What else was it? Staying full time, which was like a bit of a shock.
Do you think that was the first mistake then?
Yeah, probably. Because if we stayed full time, then we'd have to go up this season. So we stayed full time, and then but the other bit of it was we were moving our training. So basically, our main base of operations to Kelty, which is 2.5 hours away in Fife. That's when the fans really,
You were not happy about that.
No, that was when the fans really kicked off and started protesting and was like, "We need to change board here."
Why was that then?
Because it's ripping the heart and soul out of the club.
But why did they want to move to Kelty?
Because it's a central belt. There's more money down there. There's more they use houses as well as an excuse. There's more. Like you give
so
players
if you have
houses.
to commute to Cali for a game, or
so as in the players only travelled to Inverness 4 games, and that was it.
Yeah.
Train and live down south, So I would argue I'd rather be bad but stay in Inverness, be a Highland
Yeah.
club, because that's what we are,
Yeah.
rather than
And that's where you were formed from.
exactly.
Yeah.
That's it, it's all about, yeah.
Okay.
And then so that's when the fans kicked off, refused to buy season tickets. Season, Duncan Ferguson stayed, which everybody was a bit shocked about. And then
Is that, do you think, because of the contract length? Though?
oh yeah, 3-year deal. He took a pay cut.
Yeah.
I think he's still on like $1.5 grand a week, which is still mental money.
Mm-hmm.
And then go off, drew 1-0 against the Barn, and then I can't remember what happened. Alan Savage, who we'll probably get on to, stepped in to save the academy because he was quite passionate about that. And
Who is Alan Savage? Just for
I don't know if he's local, but Scottish word. Businessman that basically was our chairman between 2006 and 2008. Stepped in, he's got a lot of money.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Is he Cali fan as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why.
stepped in, saved the academy, and then after all the protests, he basically stepped in, took control of the club completely, kicked the other 2 people out, which I don't like. And then
Do you like anyone in the Scottish football camp?
yeah, a few people.
John McGinn.
Aye.
That's about it.
So kicked them out, and then yeah, he took control of the club full time so far.
Yeah. So, what did the fans think about that?
What, him coming in?
Yeah.
Oh, it was relief.
Yeah.
Because at that point we thought, oh, we might actually be saved.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can't remember what happened. We had to set up a fundraiser, being like, we need 200 grand.
Yeah, I remember that. Is October, wasn't it?
By the end of the month.
Was that a
By the
shock?
end of the month.
By the end of the month, yeah.
It was about what, the 14th of October, and
It was so,
2
it
weeks,
was something like that, yeah. So we need 200 grand by the end of the month to keep afloat,
and $1 million until the end of the year,
and
wasn't
at 1.2 million by the end of the year.
Yeah.
And I think we only raised 87 grand. But Alan Savage said he'll fund until the end of the season.
Yeah.
And then he'll also fund us through the administration process.
Mm-hmm.
So at least we have a backer, because administration, yeah, we have no money, but it costs a lot of money to run
Yeah.
through that. So he said he'd back in, and then so he's been working through that, trying to get deals done and whatnot.
Need to give him a statue.
Yeah,
big
yeah,
time.
especially after
The
today.
the Savage stand or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously the statement came out, and then the administrators came with it. It was in a few days, wasn't it?
Yes.
Was that when it really set in for you that maybe your club wouldn't have a future? And how are you feeling at the time?
That wasn't the lowest I've bid. The lowest I've bid was when we were like Kelty and all that. But no, I feel like with Alan Savage, it was a bit more like stable, a little bit. Not saying it's much, but when they laid out a clear plan on how it's going to happen. Which, yeah, you're in administration, you lose 15 points. It's not great.
Yeah.
But you are a little bit of hope. It strips the club right back, gets rid of all the dead wood, dead rubber, whatnot.
Yeah.
So it brings it back a little bit.
Well, talk to us about what changes they brought in then, because
So
really
they
see
got
that, I think.
Duncan. They got rid of Duncan, his team.
How do you go about doing that though? If he's in a contract, was it quite an easy?
Couldn't tell you.
Probably pay him out or something.
From what though? That's the
That's what
Yeah.
If you have got administrators will
they have to make cost cuts.
divide everything.
And
up,
obviously
it's
he
a
was on the
one-time
biggest money.
cost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So got rid of him and his coaching team. Got rid of a couple of players, including his son, thankfully. So, yeah, his son was and then basically shipped it right back. Got a few coaches in, made players like our older players step up, do some coaching roles. Basically,
And what about January then? Because I know you had to sell one of your players in January. You really liked as
Keith
well.
Bray, who's a young lad who's actually brilliant at football. Love him to bits, but yeah, we had to sell him. But luckily,
Where's he gone?
Dunfermline on a 4-year deal. But luckily, they loaned him back for the rest of the season.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
we could have been in trouble if he didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And what about on the pitch then? Because minus 15, and you've sounded very negative today, but Cali have done very well on the pitch. So let's have some positivity.
Yes, right. At the start of the season, we didn't go off to the best start. I was still with Duncan in charge. And then you get the minus 15 and you're like, right.
Did you actually went into minuses, didn't you?
Yeah, we were.
minus 10?
I think it was minus 7 or something like that.
Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, because we were that poor. And then it was like that point, it was like, right, we are going down again.
Yeah.
It'll be League 2 if we could even stay a club.
Yeah. Well, I'm guessing they're not full-time anymore.
No, we are.
Still full-time?
Yeah,
Right.
come the end of the season, I don't think we will be.
Right.
But I don't mind that. So yeah, minus 15. And then slowly but surely start building the points up. And then Dumbarton get minus 15 as well. So that helped out. So then we were 9th. And then slowly climbing up. And now we're 8th. So we're out of the relegation zones.
Not bad.
Are you pretty confident that you'll be okay?
I've never said ever.
Yeah, no, I'm the
but
same with Forest. Though.
Never said ever, but yeah, more so.
And if you add the 15 points back, you'd be in the playoffs, wouldn't you?
We'd either be 4th or 5th, depending on goal difference, yeah.
But that shows that 15 points would only put you in the playoffs. There's a bit of a gulf there. do you think?
Between what?
Like the teams at the bottom of the league and then...
Oh,
teams at the
yeah,
top?
like Dumbarton. Yeah, they've already been... Like, if you add on their 15 points, they would still be bottom.
Yeah.
Like them, yeah, they're quite poor.
Poor.
Yeah, you've got Dumbarton, Annan, and probably Montrose. I don't like Montrose, so I'll throw them in it as well. Or there's probably them three that are not great at football.
Yeah.
You've got us, which are kind of obviously the outliers as well, though. But yeah, between the top and bottom, there's. But then there's anybody beats anyone league.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, because we lost to Annan the other day.
Yeah.
So.
Drew, I think Drew.
No, we lost to Annan and then drew against Alloa.
Alloa was the one you went to, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we mentioned that there was no administration in Scotland since 2013. Now there's been 2 in the space of a season, obviously both in League One.
Mm-hmm.
Have you got a solution to the problem that's clearly arising?
Nope.
Or why it's a
I'll
problem
be honest
now?
with you, I don't, because I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm not financially minded or financially
Yeah.
stable myself.
Fair enough.
But no, I couldn't tell you because there's a lot of clubs that are probably on the brink. Like Edinburgh, I don't know if they've sorted themselves out, but there was a lot of financial talk there.
Mhm.
There was Bonnyrigg Rose who needed to raise 150 grand because they had a slope on their pitch, which they managed to do. To be
Right.
fair to them,
Yeah.
Clyde, which are there. There's a few teams that
Mhm.
are on the brink, and I'm pretty sure there's probably a few more that aren't saying anything
Yeah.
that are very close to going under, or at least administration wise.
So if we talk about today, or it was a week ago as this comes out, but we've heard news that Alan Savage put in a bid for £800,000 to take full control of the club. Now
Yep.
that's obviously a positive sign, so talk to us about that.
Well, obviously, it was a couple of days ago it came out that there was no buyers for the club, which then thoughts start coming in and you're going to lose your club again. And then this comes out today being like, there's an offer on the table and it can only get better, which is a relief. It is a great relief, to be fair. And obviously you trust the man.
Yeah.
And it's not some like random billionaire from whoever.
And he
So-
said, didn't he, that if a better offer comes in, he's
was-
happy to step
yeah.
aside as well.
Yeah.
So are you confident that you'll have a club next season at the minute?
I'll
As
say
much as you
yes.
can
I'll
be?
say yes.
Yeah.
As much as you can be, yeah.
Yeah. And he said in the statement, didn't he, that his like long or medium term ambition was to be a championship club within the next 2.5 years, I think it was.
Yeah, a
Do you
couple
see
of years.
that? Do you see that?
I think that's where we belong.
Yeah.
Like, as much as I obviously want to play Premiership football and whatnot, we're not a big club.
Yeah.
Like, so probably mid-table championship I'll take.
And obviously that might have to change this season, but if you were mid-table championship, do you think full-time would be on the cards, pretty much?
Depends.
Yeah.
We'll see, because obviously our squad's full like people that are younger than me.
Yeah.
So it's
What does it feel like watching
oh,
that?
it's strange. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
but
It
it
is
is.
strange because you got 37-year-old, 36-year-olds running about with like 18, 17-year-olds.
Yeah.
But it works. It's working so far.
I want to
So-
give last word because I know you really like him to your goalkeeper. Go
Oh,
on, let's talk about him.
Musa Debaga.
Come on.
What a legend that man is, by the way. that's the only good thing Duncan Ferguson did,
Yeah.
sort of. So he was brought in the summer because we lost our long-term goalkeeper, Mark Ridgers, because the communication between the club and him fell apart.
Yeah.
So he brought Musa in to be a backup to Jack Newman, who was on loan from Dundee United. And so Jack played the majority of the start of the season, and he was, well, how to say, not great.
Right.
But he was always start, and then he got injured. So then Musa got given his chance, and he's just been incredible. And then recently been called up to the Gambian national team,
Love
which
that.
is the first Cali player to be called up since 2017.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just love that man.
Do you think he'll be there for long?
Probably not. As much as I love him to be,
Yeah.
but I think he's too good for us, far too good
Yeah,
for
The
us.
international call-up can be a dagger like that as well.
Yeah.
It kind of open more eyes. Get
Did he play?
Exactly,
I
yeah.
bet he
No, he
played,
didn't get on, but it's just he's incredible.
Experiences.
Yeah.
But what did you have to do to solve the problem?
We had to sign a goalie on loan from Celtic.
The emergency loan.
Yeah, he did all right against Alloa, to be fair, but
Has he gone back now then?
yeah, it was just the one game.
Perfect. And finally, you went to Scotland as well last weekend.
Oh, don't mention it.
Are we not talking about that?
No, you can if you want.
Go on then. Let's,
Yeah.
So Thursday night,
Yeah.
everyone in the flat, we were watching because Tom and Cam, my flatmates, were going 1-0 win away in Greece. So you
Yeah,
were set up for victory, and then what happened?
I mean the first game we did well. The second half was really poor, but we held out. And then the second game, just need to stay strong again, probably nick a goal or two, and then yeah, Scotland turned into Scotland, did our same old, got beat 3-0. But yeah, not much to say. We were really bad.
Okay. Well, hopefully everybody's enjoyed Cam's little waffling there, rambling.
Yeah.
We're going to do a Scottish football quiz, so I'm not sure that many of us are confident about that.
I'm not confident either, so don't worry.
But, yeah, stay tuned for segment 2. Hello, welcome back to the Press Box. Segment 2, we've got a quiz. Now, me and Connor aren't confident, so we're going to gang up on Cam, and we're going to have...
I'm not confident either,
a
so you'll be
quiz.
fine.
Now, it's not been made by Axel, but
Nah.
Axel is going to host it. Because I thought of the three, you might have the worst knowledge of Scottish football. Would that be fair?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. So we'll do alternate questions, and then should we let Cam go first? As I guess.
Yeah, that can
All
be
right,
first, that
expose
makes
me as a
sense,
fraud.
yeah.
Here we go.
Alright, boys, there is 10 questions in total, so we'll go 5 each, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Ready, Cam?
Go for it.
Cool. Question number 1. Can you name any of the 5 top Scottish appearance makers in the English top flight?
Ooh.
English top flight. See, that's English football. I know Scott.
That's
Ooh.
not. How are we going to do points for that then? Should we do what like?
We'll do 1 for each player. Is that fair?
Okay, yeah.
Wait,
So
you
if Cam
said
does one,
Eddie.
we does one.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's 5.
right, okay.
So if Cam says one and we say one, because
Yeah, because
Right,
if he gets
yeah.
all
5
5 right,
points,
we'll just get
yeah.
5 points.
Yeah, right, okay.
English league.
Yeah,
So it's like
English
all
league.
time.
Yeah.
So this
right.
is putting it back on you.
Jesus.
I've only got one name.
Go on then.
Darren Fletcher.
Yep, that's 1
That was
point.
what I could think of as well.
Right. I'm thinking Duncan
Yeah,
Ferguson.
because it goes beyond Premier League, doesn't it? If it
Or
goes
Kenny
beyond Premier
Dalglish.
League. Yeah, I think Duncan Ferguson's. I know the Duncan Ferguson in English football altogether, but not all of his games would have been in the top flight.
Yeah.
Kenny Dalglish is probably more likely to have played more top flight games.
We've given them one, haven't we?
Yeah, well,
We'll go
Yeah.
Kenny.
if it's right.
We'll go
Yeah, I
Kenny.
think yeah.
Kenny
yeah.
Dalglish.
Locking it in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Oh,
Back to you, Cam.
what a
Oh.
start.
It's 4
Uh,
more.
There's one, but I don't know how many games are in the Premier League. James Morrison.
That's 2 for you, Cam.
Sounds.
Right. Have we got any? Robbo?
more names.
Robbo might be there
Robertson,
by
yeah,
now.
he could be by now. Yeah, he moved to Liverpool and he
And
played
Hull.
a season for Hull. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think that's
Andy
worth a
Robertson.
shout, yeah.
Andy
I
Robertson.
would have said him as well, but he's not
Oh,
on the list.
Oh,
That's 2 guesses
Right,
each.
we'll-
So
we'll-
you,
This is
Cam.
English football as well.
Yeah.
We'll say
Just
Big
'cause it's
Dunk.
Scottish.
Big Dunk.
Duncan Ferguson.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, we'll go for it.
No.
Okay.
Okay, I'd be mad if you
Yeah,
took me
yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Is there any goalies? Because goalies obviously play a lot.
I can't
No,
think
Shea
of-
Given's Irish.
Shea Given's
Mhm.
Irish. That would be pretty poor. Yeah. I mean, who are the Scottish goalkeepers? Like Gordon was a Scottish goalkeeper.
He
He
was.
mostly played in. He played in.
Not for
He
long.
played for Celtic, didn't he? A lot of the time.
Mm.
This is bad.
This, yeah. I'm out
Gonna have
of
to
it.
push you
This
for an
is
answer,
gonna.
please.
Oh, Souness.
Yes, Graham Souness.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Oh
Oh,
God.
That
Jesus.
is 3 questions each, 2 more each.
What was he doing?
Right, I'm not going to get any more.
No.
No. We'll put a rogue one. Charlie Adam.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah, why not? It's not there, is it? But
Wrong.
yeah, fair.
That's 4. Guys got 2 more
Should we
guesses.
Just I say we give up.
We'll have a guess.
We
and
could
then
throw
give up.
John McGinn in for a laugh.
Ooh.
But I don't know what else to do, to be honest.
Not a bad
It's
shot.
not. It won't be because he was at Villa in
No,
the
no,
Championship,
no,
wasn't he?
it's
But only
way
for a
too-
year though,
way
wasn't
too
it?
long in the Championship.
Yeah,
It's
that's
only-
where they
it's
got
only for a
promoted.
year.
Yeah.
Well,
I swear the first season came in, he won.
I think the first
Will
season.
McTominay not have more than McGinn? McTominay
was
was
it?
since what
yeah,
2014.
Yeah, he could do. Could do.
But there's going to be some before. Like it could be like Archie Gamble.
There's
Trying to
probably.
think who-
I don't think it matters. I
Who's
think it
Scotland's
would
all-time
probably
like scorer?
Oh.
Gonna have to push you for an
Oh,
answer here, boys.
No,
Archie Gamble.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Wrong.
I'll put one out there because
It's your last
I'm
guess.
pretty sure he played for Chelsea. Steve Clark.
Nah.
No.
Get in. Right.
Last guess for you, boys.
This is.
So
This is
dumb.
gonna be-
I mean, at least I didn't get beat. It's fine.
It's
It's
only
only question one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so far. 2-0 up.
I can't
This is
think of
There's
Sure.
got to be
it.
some defenders.
I
Defenders.
touch.
Centre back. Grant Hanley's woeful. Scott McKenna.
Scott McKenna.
Scott McKenna. Stop
Yeah.
Scott
It
McKenna.
might be Scott.
Is that what you're
Yeah. Scott McKenna.
wrong?
Oh god, right.
It's
The
a
answer
Scotland. It's a
was-
Scotland episode. We've got to mention Scott
this
McKenna.
is-
It's Darren Fletcher,
Yeah.
Gary McAllister, Paul Tefler, James
Yeah.
Morrison, and Phil Bardsley.
For Barnsley.
Barnsley,
Oh
yeah,
my god,
fair
yeah.
enough. Yeah, that,
Barnsley
it's a rogue
legend.
shout though, isn't it? Right, 2-0 to Cam. Well done.
Yeah, fine.
Cool.
Sounds.
Come on, Connor.
Your question.
Yeah.
Who missed Rangers' penalty in the Europa League final?
Oh, Aaron Ramsey.
Is that what you're looking in?
Yeah,
Aaron
it
Ramsey.
is.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh,
nice.
Scored 2-1.
Yeah, it's no.
Alright. You ready?
Yep.
Which team did Victor Wanyama sign for this week?
Done firm and athletic.
Well done. 3-1.
Nice.
Why did you think he was going to lose? You're pretty good at this.
No, well I thought we could
Would
say
you guys have got
shorter.
that one?
Confirming.
No, I don't think I saw that.
All
no.
I knew, I remember the picture of the scarf, so it's DAFC, so it would have been trying to actually remember if it's
Yeah,
Scottish.
that's-
that's
Oh,
been
if you'd have
yeah.
said that, I think
It would
I
have
would
been the closest I would have
That's
got
been
to
an
it,
eventful
yeah.
week for them, but
Yeah.
Alright, your turn. When was the last time Scotland beat England? Bonus for the correct score.
Christ.
Mhm.
He knows this
Mhm.
one.
Can I nick it?
They didn't beat us in that.
Didn't
Like,
beat.
few
I've
years
told you
ago.
before.
I can't remember it happening.
95.
It's got to be something like that. Yeah, I
Well, did it?
literally. I mean,
Well,
it could be when
Scotland-
we were born, but too
I
young
doubt
to
it.
remember. But I can't remember it. If it did,
Okay, 96.
yeah, it's got
95.
Start your
95, yeah.
final answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It won't be.
Can I nick it?
Oh, can we guess the score as well, just to try and
Yeah,
steal
to
the
be fair.
bonus
Yeah,
point?
cool.
It's
You
gotta
could
be
nick the
one-
bonus point.
It's got to be 1-0, isn't it?
Yeah, go 1-0.
1-0.
Yeah.
1-0?
Yeah.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got the bonus point, but you
Yeah.
didn't get the.
99 won it.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
99.
99 at Wembley because it didn't mark 2 bets 2-0 at Hampden.
Oh, shot. Brilliant.
Yeah.
So that's
Seems
one
about
apiece.
right,
Yeah.
So what's the score now?
It's 4-2.
Okay. Your turn, Cam. You ready?
Yep.
No, that's too easy for you.
Hmm.
Celtic Park is the biggest stadium in Scotland
Yep.
Oh.
with 60,411 seats.
Hmm.
But which is second? Only 1,000
God,
separate
that's
second and
ridiculous.
third.
Luke needs to get sacked.
Hampden
That-
Yeah.
is slightly bigger than Ibrox.
Well done.
Yeah.
What's the score now? 5-2.
5-2,
Yeah.
All right. This is
Cam should win this, to be fair.
Well,
It should,
yeah.
This is for you boys.
Should-
Who is the most expensive Scottish footballer of all time?
Is it McTominay?
Or Gilmore.
Oh, you might. Okay, yeah. It's got to be. It's got to be. Well, it's got to be a modern one, isn't it?
What did McTominay go for?
30 something, I think.
And Gil,
McTominay's had all sorts of bonuses in it though, so I don't know how much
if
they've
they've
actually.
activated.
Yeah,
as
I mean
well.
they will. They probably will because Napoli are having a good season, isn't they?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
There's
if
no
it
one
will.
else for like a few years.
Kieran Tierney. He was about 30,
Ooh.
but I don't think he'd be enough. I think the others. Would
You go
be more.
McTominay, would you? Or
It's got to be McTominay or Gilmore. Yeah,
okay, I'll let you choose.
I would say Gilmore. Yeah, Billy Gilmore.
Is that your final answer?
There's some eyes
There's
there
a
from
face.
Axel.
Yeah, there's a face. Maybe not.
No, we'll go for it.
Wrong.
I'm not going to answer it because there's a few names.
No, go on.
I mean, I completely forgot about McTominay. I thought it was Ollie Burke. That was years
yeah,
ago.
Ollie Burke
That was years ago, wasn't it?
from
Ollie
Forest.
Yeah, but this isn't my question, so I don't mind.
Wrong. The answer was Scott McTominay.
I was.
30.5 million euros.
Ollie Burke, what a shout.
Oh, it was him,
Forest,
wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
All right.
Just
Still
completely forgot about
5-2.
McTominay.
Leipzig.
Yeah.
Really?
You ready?
Mm.
I still should get the point ready.
Half a point.
Yeah, for saying it.
Trying to find a. We'll go for this. Nah, we'll go for that one.
Give it a
What
tough one.
minute did Hungary score
Oh,
into
Bleep
knock
that,
out Scotland
bleep.
out
Sorry.
of the Euro 2020?
I don't know because I was screaming. 94th.
Wrong.
Mm.
96.
I was going to go 88, but yeah, go with that.
88.
Yeah, I was gonna
That's
go
Oh.
what
86.
I think 96.
Wrong. It
No,
is 90 plus 10.
90.
Yeah, crazy scenes.
Yeah, that's not great.
All
No
right.
happy.
Next question is for you boys. Who has won more Scottish Cups, Virgil van Dijk or Ange Postecoglou?
Right, Van Dijk was there for what? 3 years?
Couple of years, yeah, not long. Postecoglou obviously would have won something in his second season because otherwise he couldn't be chatting the amount of bullshit that he.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he's got to have at least one. Van Dijk, there's that video of Van Dijk scoring that free kick.
It was against us.
Crazy kick.
Was it?
Yeah.
Whatever it is, it was a big game.
Do you want me to give you a hint? They didn't win that game.
Fair enough.
So there's one off
Yeah.
your tally.
And when was Van Dijk? Van Dijk was there what?
He wasn't there long.
But 2013,
But I think he would have
15?
been.
Cali won in 15.
Mm.
But also he was there.
I think it's Ange.
Yeah, I think it is because when he was there, I don't think Rangers had been completely shafted yet.
No.
They had-
So
yeah.
they had.
Mm. I'm giving you hints.
But
here.
helping you
Yeah,
out.
Yeah, I am
It's
helping you.
here.
Yeah.
But there was... I think we just go Ange.
Yeah, it
Okay.
seems more
And-
like yeah.
So your final answer?
Luca
Yeah.
as well, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, it's gotta be
Yeah.
I think it is
yeah.
Ange.
You are correct.
Get
Yeah.
it. Is it 1-0? Is it like 1 to Ange, none to Van Dijk? Or is
Van
it
Dijk won one, surely.
Did not put it on
Doesn't
there?
say.
Poor Luke.
Because he didn't win it in 2014, or he didn't win in 2015 anyway.
Probably
Right.
not.
14 was St
What's that,
Johnstone.
5-3?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
There can't be many left, is there? What, 4 left?
You got 2 questions left each.
Ah, so
Too late. Okay, sound.
So unless Ken gets them both wrong, we get them both right.
No,
So
there's one question. I'll save it for you lot. It's got bonus points.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
You ready?
Yeah, go for it.
Name the all-time top scorers for the Scottish national team.
Oh,
There's
there's
2 tied on 30 goals.
tennis law. Wait, am I going to name 2 or 1? What is it?
You name them both if you
Was
want.
it Dennis Law and it's not Kenny? Is it Kenny Dalglish?
Is that your final answer?
Dennis Law's one of them. I know that. Yeah,
Yeah, Dennis Law
Yeah.
is one of them.
it's not Kenny Dalglish, is it?
Is that your final answer?
It's not him, but yeah.
It is Kenny Douglas.
Oh, it is Kenny
Wow,
Dalglish.
well
That
done,
sounds.
Cam.
Is that 2? Give me 2 points for that.
Yes,
Yeah.
you've got 2, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Alright, final question.
Right, double points, yeah.
What's the score?
It's 7-3. We'd still lose it.
Yeah, triple points. Yeah,
How
7-3,
many
it's not
Celtic
great.
managers have either managed or played for Liverpool? Bonus for each
Right,
one name.
Rodgers.
Yeah,
Brendan Rodgers.
would've done it, yeah. Managed or played for
Mhm.
Liverpool.
Either managed or played for Liverpool.
Celtic.
I mean, I'm struggling to think of other Celtic managers, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, no, there's a couple of other
So-
Celtic
so we've got
managers,
a
like Angel, Neil Lennon, but there's
Yeah.
not any other.
Unless Neil Lennon took like temporary charge of Liverpool for a game or something.
Played on.
Do you think you know?
No.
First.
Why Liverpool? by the way?
This is a like you'll never walk alone thing, isn't it?
Ah.
There could be
Celtic.
one, but I don't know if he managed Celtic.
The only one I can think of is Brendan Rodgers.
So it has to be a Celtic manager that's managed or played for Liverpool as well.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
There is one, but I don't think he managed Celtic. So, 'cause I know he played for both.
Right.
There's got to be a
Yeah.
there's got to
Should we
be a
just-
player in there somewhere. Otherwise, you wouldn't have said it really.
No.
Unless you
Who's
would,
the
because it's
player?
Luca.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I got
There's-
nothing.
No Scottish players that play for. I can't think of any. McAllister. I don't know.
I can't think of it. I
McManaman?
can't think of any
McManaman's
Scottish
not
Liverpool
Scottish,
players
but he's
apart
got
from
Merc.
Robertson. Yeah, I mean,
Steve McManaman.
Yeah. It's got a Merc, so it might be Scottish. Should we just?
yeah,
We'll take the point.
I've got
Okay.
nothing
That'll
apart
do,
from
yeah, go on,
Brendan
Do you
Cam.
want to have a go?
Was it? I don't think Kenny Dalglish has ever managed Celtic, but then he
Oh.
played for Celtic.
Oh, that's bad, isn't it?
What, Kenny
Rodgers.
Dalglish? Does he ever?
He's
Did
played
he ever
for
manage
Liverpool.
Celtic?
I didn't think he managed
Is he on
Celtic.
there?
Kenny Dalglish is one of them.
He is?
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
it.
shit.
Give me an
And
extra
there's
point.
Yes, okay.
Thank
Cam,
you.
yes.
There is one more, if you can get this.
Nah, no chance.
John Barnes.
Ooh.
He was manager during that Super Cali game.
Was he?
Yep.
Was he?
Speaking of,
What a manager.
Yeah.
Did he get
Yeah.
sacked the game after?
well, he got sacked that season. Anyway, yeah.
And
Okay.
that is all the questions we have for today.
Right, so Cam wins 8-4. That's
Oh.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
not
we
great.
got-
That's
That's
boring. That's
It was
pretty boring,
expected
isn't
though,
it?
wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Would you have got any, Axel?
No chance.
Okay.
No.
Well, 4 points is quite
It's not. It's
Actually, no, I
not.
might
give
have
you
a couple.
Yeah. Are you happy with your performance, Cam?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Have you enjoyed your debut on the press box?
Been alright, thank you
Yeah.
for having
You
me.
can come back when it's confirmed that Cali have got another season, yeah?
Yeah. So that's just never coming back then.
Okay, segment 3, we're going to look at the, what was it?
Free agents.
Free agent. Connor, go on, Connor.
The best free agent transfer since 2010.
Hello, welcome back to the press box. Welcome back to segment 3. We're going to talk about some of the best free agent signings from Europe in the last 15 years, since 2010, given the fact that Trent seems set to be joining Real Madrid this summer from Liverpool. So I gave me, Axel and Connor 10 to choose from. We're going to talk about women's football. We'll do that first, shall we? Women's ones first?
Yeah, it's harder to rank because a lot of the
Yeah,
transfers
are
are
free. Oh,
right? So, I mean, the one that springs to mind for me, obviously, is Russo.
Yeah.
But with Russo, we made, so the summer before and the January before she eventually signed, we made world record bids for her. So,
Yeah.
I mean, part of that just kind of speaks about how much the women's transfers are changing, because a world record bid for a player with 6 months left on their contract in the men's game is delusional.
Yes.
But with the rate that she's scoring, we've won 2 trophies off of goals that she's scored. She basically single-handedly knocked Real Madrid out of the Champions League the other night. So
Yeah.
you can't.
That has to be
yeah,
one.
It has to be on there.
Yeah.
Mariona as well. She was a free agent. This signer from Barcelona. I mean, again, it's ridiculous because Barcelona are the best team in the world. Caldente was a regular starter. And
Yeah.
yet she walks to Arsenal for free, which is
Yeah.
not like, we could play Barcelona in the Champions League final, so then we could have a player that we got for free
That played
from
in that final
Barcelona,
a few months
played,
later.
literally won the Champions League
Yeah.
with them last season, beating them in the final. This is ridiculous. So it's hard to tell. Kira Walsh as well. She's signed free agent deals 2 or 3 times as well, and she's always been.
Do you think that's
brilliant.
good though for the game, that the fact that these players can move around a lot more freely, it seems, than men's football?
It is good for the players, obviously, because they have the freedom. I don't think it's the best financially, because if you're so reliant on a player, like if we lost Russo for free, for example, we'd be screwed like very quickly. So I think it just kind of. Yeah, for the players, obviously, it's nice because you've got freedom. You're not, kind of like what Cam was saying. Like, you're not going to get tied down to a long-term contract at all, and you don't have to pay out those contracts because they're short contracts generally. But it's not going to help the game get bigger. I don't think it's probably realistically where it's at the moment. That free agent deal's still happening, and it's much more about trying to get the the big stadium sellouts and maybe trying to get some of those sellouts now for like the more regular games rather than just Arsenal, Chelsea selling out. It being your average league games as well. But I think if we're looking maybe the next step after that, getting some proper money into the transfers as well.
Okay, so if we look at men's European football then, so I shortlisted on the tube last night. We were going to watch Chelsea City Champions League.
Oh yeah,
good game to be fair. I don't know how Man City were 2-0 up because they were honking.
But I mean, coming from 2-0 down, it's
I think once Chelsea scored the first, no one was going to stop them going through.
They did it very differently to us as well because they just got it done in half an hour. 3-0 up.
Whereas you guys waited till the second half, didn't you?
Yeah, but then it was 3 in 13 minutes. To be fair. Again, Russo had 2 ruled out as well. So it's just.
How do you think they'll fare in the next round?
I don't think anyone's beaten Barcelona, so I think Chelsea are just unlucky that they've got Barcelona on their side. I think we'll make the final. I think we'll lose it, but I do think we'll get past Lyon just because Russo's form is unbelievable. She can't miss, and I think ironically, it's exactly what our men's team is missing. It's just someone to put the ball away. You put the ball in the box, she scores.
How do you think she should get on in the men's team?
Russo. Well, I mean, it's a difficult question. I mean, if anyone's gonna get, it wouldn't happen. But if anyone were to give it a go, she's probably got the power against some of the like smaller centre backs in the Premier League. She'd have a chance to be able to do it, and her finishing can't be argued with. She beat goalkeepers, no problem.
Right, so if we look at them, I gave 10. So Donnarumma, Mbappe, Lewandowski, Buffon, Zlatan, Matip, Pogba, Pirlo, Milner, Thiago Silva. I think that's 10, isn't it? Now, if I've missed any, then please don't come at me. It didn't take me long to put this together. So should we start around the bottom? Because I don't know. I assume we've maybe got similar around the bottom. So my bottom was Buffon so Juve to PSG. It was about 2017, was it? I don't know. But it was a good signing. He's a brilliant goalkeeper. I just did it because of his age, really.
What about you?
I put Buffon higher up. I put him number 5 only because I think with PSG there were a couple of titles that they won because of that. I think they were in a position they had like that ridiculous front three. It was the last one before the Messi Neymar front three. That was obviously incredible. But I think he was not so much what he did on the pitch, but kind of the experience that he had kind of still spilled over into the PSG team now. Like there's some players in there who learn from Buffon, who are kind of putting that into them now.
For a goalkeeper to have that influence.
Yeah, it's unusual, isn't it, for a goalkeeper? Yeah, but I think he did, and I think when you think about how much Juventus suffered without him as well, you kind of see how good he was for Juventus with him not being there almost.
I put Donnarumma.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, coming off the Euro win, like there was a lot of hype around him, but I just think he hasn't really done much since he's been at PSG. To be fair.
I put Donnarumma 10 as well.
So I just put him 10.
Donnarumma's 9 for me. I don't know if I've just got it out for keepers, to be honest. But I put Donnarumma 9.
Yeah, and Buffon's 9 for me, so I just flipped him round.
Yeah, fair enough. So who's your 9 then?
My 9 was Pogba.
Okay.
Because I think as much as he did well with Juventus, but there were a lot of moments, I think, when Juventus needed someone to do something, and you kind of look at Pogba as the big. I know he was free, but he's kind of like the £100 million man in that team. Yeah. And a lot of the big moments he didn't have it. Juventus had chances in the Champions League. They had that semi-final against Barcelona, where they were really against Barcelona, where they were so close to getting something out of it, and he didn't have a great game. And then you had the one with Real Madrid in the semi-final a couple of years before that as well. Again, he wasn't really much of a factor in the game. I just think
big moments.
Yeah, big moments. He wasn't there, and to be fair, he always did for France. He had an amazing World Cup, didn't he, behind like Mbappe? But I think with Juventus, he kind of. I guess it's harsh because he was free, right? So anything he did was kind of a bonus. But I just don't feel that he was quite the player he was made out to be.
I put him higher, but because of what Juve got for him back.
Yeah, so when you look at that, he'd be first out of that. Yeah, in terms of
so I've sort of combined on the pitch success and the profit.
Yeah, the turnover is ridiculous.
So for me, he's 5th,
especially because they got him back again afterwards.
Yeah, that's so true. Isn't it? I mean, United, it's just a joke at this point.
Just absolutely fleeced United.
Who else have we got around the bottom then, guys?
I have Joel Matip at 7.
Yeah, Matip's 8 for me. I think
6
it's a bit
for
harsh.
me. Yeah.
It's
I
just
mean,
because
he's
the
not.
other players on it, right?
Yeah, that's the thing. He's
Yeah.
not as outstanding as everybody else, but I think Van Dijk. He's been Van Dijk's strongest partner. Would you say?
Yeah,
at
no,
Liverpool?
his quality with
Yeah,
Van Dijk.
definitely, and the
Yeah.
and the trophies as well. You know, that's
Yeah.
modern football. That's what speaks, isn't it? And I
Mhm.
think he was a big part.
And
of
it's
that.
only really this season that he's been overtaken by Kanai, isn't it?
Yeah, he's been solid, man.
Yeah, even then, I think it's harsh. I think Konate is a decent defender, but
Do you reckon Matip's better than Konate?
yeah. Still, I don't think we've
I
seen
think
that.
it's just a pace difference. Apart from
Yeah,
that,
but I
there's-
don't think you really see the same. You see two good defenders
But
with
they're
Van Dijk and
different
Konate,
defenders.
but they're different defenders.
Yeah, I think
exactly,
Matip's more of a. If you just describe him, he's good. He's nice to look at. Konate's a bit clunky. And
Yeah,
he's a
he
bit
he's
physically
got a
dominant.
mistake. He's got a
yeah.
clumsy moment in him,
But
hasn't he? As
Matip
well?
looks good. He can
Yeah,
drive,
yeah,
can do
yeah.
everything, man.
So I've got Buffon 10, Donnarumma 9, and Matip 8.
I've got Donnarumma 10th, Buffon 9th, and Matip 7th.
I put Zlatan 8th.
Did you?
Zlatan
Yeah,
8th?
big one.
Nah.
Zlatan's 7 for me.
Big
so.
one. Yeah, because as a free agent
Yeah.
specifically,
Mm.
it
Wasn't
wasn't
a huge shock.
Wasn't a huge
Yeah.
shock, no. And I don't think he's.
And he had 2 seasons at United.
Yeah, that's a bit like with United as well. Like it's not like he went to United and won trophies, is it? You know,
Yeah.
like it's.
He went to United and was
he
the
went
main
to United.
man
He
and
was the
loved
main man,
it.
which is what he wanted. He wanted to be
Yeah.
that big character, and you think the next big character after him was Ronaldo,
Yeah.
right? So like he obviously, you know, there was something to it. But again, kind of like what you said with Matip, there's just so many players on there who have made a free agent
And did it in
move
their
and then
prime.
done some brilliant stuff
Mhm.
after that free agent move. Whereas Zlatan, he was good. Don't get me wrong, he was really good, and they won the Europa League, didn't they?
Yeah.
But I think it was more down to. You know, it was more down to the team. That it was Mourinho as well, wasn't it? Mourinho always wins something,
Yeah.
apart from Spurs.
So
And
why were you so
sixth.
disgusted, Axel?
No, 'cause Zlatan's cold. Like, he's good.
Oh,
man.
he is,
Like,
yeah, but I mean-
especially when he came to United, he just won something straight away.
Specifically
I
as
didn't have
the
him too much
specifically
higher.
as a free agent though, just that United. If you were ranking these 10 players off their whole careers, yeah, he's like what is he, second, third?
Nah, just that
off
United
the free
bit.
agent deal.
I think
yeah.
done alright. I have him 6 to be fair, so it's not much higher than
Yeah.
you. Where did you have him?
7.
Yeah, so it's pretty similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 6th.
I had him 6th.
Have you, who's 8 for you? Have we covered that?
So I've got Donnarumma 10th, Buffon 9th, Matip 7th. Matip 7th.
Can we not count Axel?
Because Matip 7th and Zlatan 6th.
Who's 8th then?
It'd be sorry. It's Matip.
Matip 8th. Yeah.
yeah.
Right. So the next one for me is Milner.
And
Yeah,
Zlatan's
Milner's 7
Yeah.
for me. Yeah.
I think he did a solid job for Liverpool. You can't fault the servant
Yeah.
that he was for them.
And you know the biggest
But he
thing
was
for
never
that,
an integral part of their success.
it was the penalties as well.
yeah.
Number of important penalties he scored. I know. Obviously, you know, you expect someone to score a penalty, don't you? And especially if you play, he was playing left back at the time. So if your left back stepping up to
He's
take a
playing
penalty, you've
everywhere.
got to score if you're taking
Yeah.
it away from a striker.
Yeah.
But he
But
did.
he consistently
Yeah,
did
every
yeah.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, and whenever Liverpool relied on him, needed him, wherever they needed him
Anywhere.
to play,
Yeah, he's
he
done
was
his
just
job.
so superb at it. And he was good. He started the ball running at City, winning titles,
Yeah.
and then
absolutely.
he had him and Henderson sort of with the leadership group as Liverpool did it with
Yeah.
Klopp.
Are there any players like him today though? You know, a player that can like a utility man that can just play anywhere in today's football.
There must be some out there.
You think so?
I think you kind of see it in the academy circuit. I think you
Yeah,
see
the
in-
academy
they-
circuit, 100%.
They're trying to make players like that again
What
because I
about
think
first
there's
team,
such. Well, that's exactly it. I think there is a real lack of those players who can just go and play anywhere.
Yeah. Like you could put him anywhere, he'll do a job.
hmm
I
So
don't think there
Pogba
is
for me is 5th, and then I don't think we've talked about the top 4. So
So we've got the same top 4.
Mbappe, Lewandowski, Silva, Pirlo. That's my top 4.
that's my
yeah,
top
same
4.
top 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so let's discuss the order of it then. So for me, Pirlo is 4th, and that is only because
Same.
of the
No.
4 I've watched in the least. It was slightly before I was watching football, but I'm aware of his influence as a god, really.
Yeah,
for
the
Juve.
Pirlo's number 1 for me.
Is he?
Yeah, because I think partly just because of how funny it was, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like not being offered a contract when you are that good, and
Yeah.
the fact that it was kind of put down to Milan, like, oh yeah, he's too old, and then he wins 3 titles with Juventus. Then I mean, like,
Too
there's not really much of a better way to sort of stick your middle finger up
Yeah.
at him, is
Mm.
there?
Especially how long was he at Milan for?
I'm not sure how long exactly, but he made his name at
Yeah.
Milan, right? He
Yeah.
won titles with Italy as well, and he was a Milan legend. And I think it's so horrible because you think, like, if a player decides to just sort of call it a day, leave the club where they've made their name and join a rival, then you kind of think, all right, well that's on them. But he didn't want to do that. He wanted to deal
Yeah.
with Milan, and Milan didn't want it. And then he went to Juventus, won 3 titles, Champions League final.
So he's top for you.
Yeah, he's top for
that's
me.
fair enough. And if I'd, like I say, if it was 3 or 4 years later, hearing that, I have no doubt he'd have been top for me. So my top 3 is, I'll go right. 3rd, Thiago Silva.
Yeah.
2nd, Lewandowski.
Yeah.
And then Mbappe top.
Mbappe, so.
Look at Axel. See, look at us. Connor, off you
Been in
go.
for a
No,
while.
mine's different. So Thiago Silva 4.
Yeah.
4.
Yeah, Mbappe 3. Lewandowski 2.
With Mbappe.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
I mean,
I
Mbappe,
suppose that's
not
about
enough time for
proven
Mbappe,
record,
is
isn't
it?
it?
Yeah, proven record exactly. Because Mbappe, yeah, he's obviously doing brilliantly, but
But if you're going
it's
just
so
off
hard
the-
to, and it's so hard to make an impact there,
Yeah.
right? Real Madrid won the Champions League last year, and they won the league as well.
Mhm.
So what more can he do? If anything, this year it looks like they might say only win the Champions League. That's ridiculous, but you know what I mean. Like they would win less than they did last year. So then, how do you
Say
can't
that
really in
he's
his only seat.
that's
He
the
is
thing.
incredible. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
He's a brilliant forward, but
I think it's the potential that he has to take
yeah,
on
and to do it for a long time. And when you look at that front three as well, and how young they all are,
Yeah.
we've got like Vinicius and
They're
Mbappe,
not going to need
Rodrigo.
to
They're
sign
not gonna
attacking
need-
players for what?
No,
5
exactly.
years at
And even
least.
then, that whole front three altogether cost them 20 million.
Yeah,
That's
they've got Diaz behind them
It's,
as well.
it's
They've
the
got-
best front three in the world, and it costs
Yeah.
20
That's
million.
ridiculous.
And that you got to give credit to Perez and for the scouting squad that they've got
Absolutely.
going on there.
That's
I mean, even
foul
like
play
probably
though,
all
man.
of the Forest front three
Yeah.
individually cost more than Real Madrid's whole front three.
That's
And
foul
our
play, though.
front three's not even that expensive, is it?
No,
That's
it's
the
not
thing.
that expensive. That's what I mean. That's why I'm using
Yeah.
it as an example. It's just and the thing is, like with the
I'd take
Mbappe
ours over
one,
theirs anyway.
Okay.
Chris went over
Okay.
Mbappe, George.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would Mbappe score 18
Yes.
goals in the Forest team? I don't think so.
Oh, in the Forest team.
In the Forest team, I don't think so.
Okay, fair
See,
enough.
there you go. Chris
Well,
Wood
he'd
over
score
Mbappe.
at least 6 against Southampton, so we're talking about 12
Yeah, but
against.
to be fair,
us.
Chris Wood missed 4 clear chances to West Southampton, so I'll give him that. But
Yeah.
yeah, so Lewandowski then
I got
the
him
Judas
second.
went from Dortmund to Bayern, obviously, and superb,
Yeah.
superb
but-
Lewandowski. Let's talk about him.
I would put him first, but you can't because of the way he did. Because exactly what I said with Pirlo, right?
Yeah,
Like Pirlo didn't choose to do that. Lewandowski
did. So you've deducted points for that, have
Yeah.
you? Yeah. Axel?
Yeah, I had him second.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
There's not much to say. Thiago
Yeah.
Silva, though, I just think what a superb player. I really enjoyed watching him. And defending isn't the most attractive thing,
I
but
think that's the best signing
him,
we've
I think
done.
him and Van Dijk make look defending like
Easy,
effortless
yeah.
and good to watch.
Yeah, yeah.
And the fact he obviously won Chelsea Champions League, he was there for 3-4 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something
And
like that,
people
yeah.
every single season were waiting for him to run out of steam. And
He won't.
granted, by the end, maybe he did. But to be 39, 40, 41 in the Premier League, being the stalwart, playing most games with carnage around the whole squad next to him, he was just the mainstay. And I think he deserves immense credit for that.
Yeah.
He's just so good, isn't it?
Mhm.
Like, he just makes the game look so easy.
Yeah.
And I genuinely think that's one of Chelsea's best signings.
There were
Yeah.
some
Personally.
really ropey defenders playing next to him as well that he made look a lot better than they
Yeah,
were.
because
as
when
well.
he's gone, there's a void.
Yeah, that's the thing, but that's almost like the biggest credit for a defender. You think like how good certain defenders look next to him. You remove him, and then how
Yeah.
crap they look all of a sudden. It shows you how important he was in that team.
Yeah. And the fact he's not even that tall as well, just to be that sort of commanding figure without that as well. So.
Mm.
We happy with the lists then? Yeah.
I think my list was better than yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's not brilliant.
Ours was similar.
You've convinced me that I should have put Buffon over Donnarumma. That's probably quite poor from me.
Yeah, I think Buffon should be probably a little further
Yeah.
down on mine. It's just I think without him, I don't think PSG would be where they are now. Like PSG might win the Champions League.
I'm just
this
here to
season.
host, really. I'm not here to try any sort of meaningful opinions. But thank you guys, thanks for coming, and thank you everybody for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you click like and hit subscribe on the Woodwork channel, and hit the notification bell to be notified when we upload. We'll be back for another podcast next week. Until then, have a good week and goodbye.